Hello there, folks. Hope everyone's okay and happy. Hope you enjoyed the first installment of our sniper series. What I'm going to be doing today is part two, and I'm going to be talking about the route in. Basically, if you recall from part one, we had flown in, we had created the flight, and now, of course, we've landed. And if you recall, we had landed at LZ Fingers. Okay. What we're going to be talking about today is the route and what I wanted to achieve on it, and how I actually went around doing it. It's pretty basic stuff. There's nothing difficult about it at all. I just want people to get into my head, pardon me, into my head, and to this might trigger other people to make something similar, or might trigger them to think, I like that, and I'll take that bit and use it in my own mission, or I didn't think of that, that's really good. So that's what I like to do. Okay, guys. Again, there's nothing difficult about it at all today. In fact, the hardest part was what was it? Part one. Part 1 and Part 3 are going to be the hardest parts. Okay. Anyhow, right, let's get started then. First off, you're going to need a character. Okay. And let's see if I want to do that. Yeah, I'll do it like that. Right. Basically, on my character, same as what I've done on every episode that I'm doing, every part that I'm doing, I've got this code set for the playable units. Okay, and it's only two units. It is for this particular mission. But anyway, right, the reason being because I got sick to death of my character calling out contacts. I didn't want him to. I really didn't want him to. So basically, I wanted him to shut up. Just leave a look in to me. Okay, it's my character. I am in total control. He's not in control of me. And I just wish that Biss would realize this and think, hang on a minute, playable characters by default should have the AI mind should not be in control. He should not be calling out contacts. He should not be saying this, that, and the other. He should only say what the player wants him to say. Okay, that's my theory. I'm strongly against what Biss has done, and I wish they would correct it and make it so any playable unit did not say a damn word. Anyhow, that's my rant over. Going back to the code, right? In the initialization bit of his unit, you put this set skill, spot distance 0, 0 fade radio 0, enable radio false, enable sentences false, player disable conversation false. Okay, and again, this code can be found on the Biss forums, or just Google it. But as with part 1, I didn't mention in part 1, but I'm going to mention it here now. If anybody wants any of the codes that I'm using, let me know, and I'll bung them in the comments below. Okay, guys. So anyway, that's unit 1 and unit 2. We've got the same code, and that's gonna basically stop our units from talking, in theory. Okay. Right then, back to the actual mission itself. Right. We wanted. Well, we had to create an LZ, and we had to use a invisible helipad for this. Okay. We had to use that to make sure that the chopper would land on that on that pad, or he'll try to find it and he'll land as close to that pad as what he could. Okay, we've called this LZ just for ambience and immersion. LZ fingers. I couldn't think of another name, but anyhow, the way that I've set up this LZ, I needed the LZ to look as if it's been secured by forward troops. So what I've got here is a JTAC. Okay, he's just a normal guy, right? I've got him there, and actually I'll put do stop this because I don't want him to move. Okay, so we've got him there. Okay, and what he's going to be doing is he's going to be calling in the chopper. And what I failed to do, which I'll do now, in fact, while I'm talking about it, no, I didn't. I deleted it. It doesn't matter. I probably talk about it again another time. Anyhow, what his job is to do is to using an animation that I talked about in part 1. Right, he's going to be calling in the chopper, waving his arms, and then once the chopper gets to this helipad, what's going to happen is that he's going to switch to another animation, and then he's going to be crossing his arms to say, "Hey baby, you're down," sort of thing. Okay, I've got here a sentry. Okay, if we come to him now, I've got do stop this, which is going to force him not to move. I've also got this set unit pause middle. That's going to ensure that he stays crouched. Okay, I've made him look in this way, down here, right, onto this, because basically I'm trying to achieve a sort of all-round defense here. Okay, I've got him also to have a waypoint, and it's a hold waypoint, so he ain't going to move, and his combat mode is going to be never fire. Okay, there's not going to be enemies around you anyway. I just wanted to put that in just for a full safe way of making him stay put. And exactly the same here on this chap. Okay, do stop this set unit pause middle. Okay, waypoint exactly the same. This is where things get a little bit complicated. This gave me such a headache. It took me ages to work it out, and in the end I found the code on this eventually. Anyway, I've got a vehicle, an empty vehicle. I've named him Jackal 1. Okay, I've got this guy here. Okay, and he's got a waypoint. In fact, I'll talk about this guy first. Okay, I've had to group them together. Okay, I've got this guy here, and he's going to be this moving driver Jackal 1, this add action light off Jackal 1. And the reason for that code is to force them, because this is going to be a nighttime mission. I didn't want any lights on because they're supposed to be pathfinders, so I had to get that code. That code then will force him to sit there, and he'll have his lights off. Okay, this guy then, yeah, pardon me, is going to have a get in waypoint, and it says this moving gunner Jackal 1, and he's going to be looking eastish. This chap here is going to be looking north. This guy is going to be looking south, and this guy is going to be looking west-east, southwest-east. Okay, so anyhow, that's that sorted out. Okay, so what I also wanted was a foolproof route, because I got things kicking off as we actually patrol. through this route, I needed to know the route off by heart, so I couldn't memorize it myself. So I decided to put markers down. Okay, R in, and these blue dots means that's going to be the route in. Okay, if you scroll out, you'll see here I got red dots, and that's going to be route out. Okay, so that's red dots are route out, and blue dots are route in. Okay, right. So our chap who's here is going to be walking along here with his sniper. Okay, every single trigger he's going to be grouped to. Okay, so what's going to happen is we got a group of enemies here. Okay, and they've got waypoints. Now the idea of these enemies is so as we crest in the top of the hill. Okay, I didn't want just to bimble along and have a boring walk, because after all it is quite some distance, you see. So what I decided to do instead was to have us looking for stuff. So I pretended that the area was swamped with enemies. And the first thing I did was place down a group of enemies, and then on the squad leader I had this set captive true, just in case the no, this set captive true, that is only for the helicopter, because what happens is that if the helicopters see enemy, they go after it instead of landing, and I didn't want that, you see, so I wanted them to land, make sure that they land. So set captive true, this unassigned item NV joggles, this unassigned item NV goggles underscore op4, this remove items NV goggles underscore op4, this add primary weapon item AC or AS ACC underscore flashlight, this enable gun lights force on. Okay, I got this script from Swiss Maverick on YouTube, and what this basically does is it takes all their images off, and it gives certain members, I'm not sure which ones I've got, I think I got 2 or 3 lights. He's possibly got one. No, he hasn't. Let's have a look at him. No, let's go for team leader. Yeah, he's got it as well. So the team leaders and the section leaders, I've got them. Okay, I've got the lights, but everybody else hasn't. So everyone has had their NVGs taken off them, so they're basically blind, but they've got lights. Okay, because I got fed up of the AI constantly spotting us from K's away, and it's stupid. You just wouldn't see it in real life, you know. So I set it like that. I've given them a waypoint. I told them to never fire. I want them careless, because I want them just bimbling around, really. I want them to be in a staggered column, and I wanted them to walk slowly. Okay. Now, I didn't want them to start walking as soon as a mission started, so I only wanted them to start moving once my character gets into this trigger area. So he's climbing up his hill, and he triggers this, and it's going to be a switch trigger. Okay, so let's go back there, because we don't need the dots on now. So I've got a long enough trigger to make sure that I did trigger it. It's deep enough as well. It's important to make it a switch trigger, and it's grouped by me. Okay, by my character, so only my character can trigger this. Once my character walks through it, this patrol will then start on its waypoints, and they'll start patrolling. Okay, And I didn't think much about it really. I thought, well, I I should have really had them coming around in a circle maybe, but I just didn't. I just gave them waypoints all the way down, far enough down there, so that they was out of sight, out of mind. Okay, so that's the first trigger. The second trigger then is exactly the same. Okay, I switch trigger the enemy fire team this time instead of a section. Right, it's synced to the trigger, and the trigger is grouped by me, so it's only me that actually triggers it. And they had exactly the same waypoints, but this time I decided that they'll come down here and they'll do a sort of a loop, and then of course they'll come down to the bottom of the map. It's important, I think, that I made them walk off the area that we're playing in, because on the extract I knew this part of the mission was going to be quite long, and I didn't want to be stopping on the extract. I just wanted to get the hell out of it, okay, because it's going to be a long mission anyway. So that's Patrol 2. Patrol 3 is exactly the same as the first two. I trigger was triggered by me, I is grouped by me, and the waypoints is synced to me, synced to the trigger there, and that's it. And the first waypoint is down there. Okay. What I wanted us to think about also is there's a building here, and there's a road or a track, right? But there's an empty vehicle, and it's got an HMG on it. And I thought, well, imagine now you're in the zone, you're patrolling, it's dark, it's quiet, you're seeing enemy patrols around, and then you're scoping ahead, and you pick up a vehicle, and a stationary vehicle. Surely your mind now is going to be thinking, gosh, who's there? Why is it there? Is there any packs there? What is waiting for me around that area? So that's a reason for putting that there. And as it was, I knew obviously that was no one here, but the guy that I was working with or playing with, he didn't know. He had no idea. So anyway, right, let's get the markers up, right. So we're coming across here now, seeing the woodland across the road up here, and we're following the markers now. This was a beast. This hill was a beast to climb. We had to stop a couple of times, we did, because our characters were just ooped. Anyhow, right, this marker here, or this trigger here, okay, as you can see, it's grouped to me, but if you come down here and if you follow the synchronization down here, you will see a civilian car. Okay, now this civilian car is just stationary here, but it's on waypoints. I've had him on a stealth waypoint, so his headlights are off. Excuse me while I just drink some coffee a minute. His headlights are off because it's going to be about midnight, it is now. And then as soon as I trigger that trigger up there, up on the crest of a hill, then he's going to be starting his waypoints, and he's going to be on a limited speed. He's on a limited speed, and he's going to be on a safe mode, so he's going to be following the road, and his headlights are going to be on. And the reason for him was nothing other than to shit us up, basically. Well, not me, because I had wrote it, but as we hit this trigger now, see. The car's going to be coming up here, and you just wouldn't have no traffic on the roads, wouldn't you? So I thought, well, as we approaching the brow of the hill, and I tried to time it almost exactly right, so as we approaching, the car would be coming around here, and of course you see the car's got waypoints then all the way up to this village, and he just stays there, he does. Okay, so that's that. Okay, then what I wanted as well, on here I've got a makeshift civilian campsite. Okay, I got 2 tents, I've got 3 camping chairs, and I got a campfire that's burning up on the hillside. And the only reason for that is to make a person that I'm playing with think, shit, what's up there? Because we all know that the enemy are not as professional as the normal people that we like to play with. So their drills might be a bit slack. So I thought, well, it's a 50-50, you know, if it's going to be a military campsite, i.e. people that's out on a nighttime patrol, they decided to sack it, pitch tents and just sleep, okay, and have a nice roaring fire. That's the idea behind it. Or it could be something quite innocent, like a normal civilian camping trip or whatever. As it was, because the time when we approach this area is going to be about midnight anyway, I thought, well, people are going to be in bed, so I'm not going to put people there because you just wouldn't have it, you see. If I could, I would have had, but I don't know how to do it. If anyone knows, then let me know. Drop me a line and let me know. But what I should have done possibly, because sound travels that much more further at night, I thought, well, what might be nice to have is have a trigger. But once we are around this area, then we could hear music blaring or ambience background partying, drinking party noises that could have been pre-recorded and then put in as effects, and then I would have put people on animations then, talking and animations around here. I would, but that's possibly for another mission one day. Anyway, back to this mission, right? So we now coming all the way down here, following these blue dots, right? Okay, and all along this route we was able to see not only the campfire or the camp, but also the town, right? I should have put a couple of civvies walking around here myself, but I didn't bother. I completely forgot, really, to be honest. Anyway, we come up here. Okay, this is another steep, monstrous bloody hill. We zoomed up here. Now this, if I had a take 2, I would redo this one again, because what happens is that we come up here and we trigger this. Okay, and I thought that as we're here, that would give us enough time to be able to identify this ifrit coming out of here, but as it was, we didn't. All we saw was engine on, lights on, and then it decided to come round, you see. So we was a bit let's just get that waypoint sorted so you can see it. The reason why certain things are ticked off here is because I wanted him to go there, didn't I? That's where I wanted him. The reason why his waypoint's not there, because as I edited it, because this map had everything on it, and then I've taken bits off and saved bits of the map so I could talk about how I actually built it in stages, instead of you seeing black line after black line after black line. It just gets too cluttered and see, doesn't it? Anyhow, so we trigger this, and then he then starts up his engine. Right, he's on stuff now, see? And he starts up his engine, and he turns his lights on, and then he travels all the way up there. Okay, unfortunately, the only thing we saw was headlights. We didn't see anything else. So I should have really moved the trigger closer to possibly there. That's where I should have moved it. So as we approached, we would have seen him. But in hindsight, that would have been better, and I should have tested it before I played the mission. But I was so excited about playing it, I completely forgot. Okay. Anyhow, right then, this one now, right? So he's moved off, right? This obviously is empty. We didn't bother going in and clearing the buildings because it looked dead. So anyway, we're walking up here now. Okay, and the OP is going to be here and here somewhere, right, around this area. So we're coming down here, and we've got this trigger here. Okay, this trigger is grouped to my character, so it's only my character that's going to trigger it. And what's going to happen is that this section, okay, again, they've got no MVGs, and one or two of them have got torches. Okay. Is there anything else on here? No. Right. So what I done is I got them on waypoints. Let's look at them. So his waypoint is a move waypoint. He's set to never fire, and he's set to careless. Okay. And they call them, and it's going to be a bimble, really, a slow walk. Okay. And that waypoint is synced with his trigger, so this small squad will not move until this trigger is triggered. Okay, so we come round here, we lay down about here, and then these guys in the pitch of night will come up the side of this mountain, come down here, will come down the contour there and up there. And I had to test it time and time again, because I wanted them to be close enough to make us think, shit, let's don't talk, or sort of thing. But I didn't want them too close that they would easily identify us, you see, or pick us up. So as it happened, they walked by us, and they didn't shoot us, and everything was all hunky-dory. Yeah. Have I got anything else going on? Yeah, that's all that I'm going to talk to you about on this episode, because on the next episode, you see with the sections waypoints are now, right? It goes there. Okay. But in the other episode, you will see that we'll follow this track, and there's a trigger up here, and that kicks off everything for the AO. Okay. This is going to be the AO here. This is where everything is going to happen in our target, but there's a lot of ambience going on around here, around here, around here as well, in this little compound. Okay, and it all adds to the overall effect of being up on the hill trying to take a sniper shot, and it puts a little bit of stress onto the shooter. Unfortunately, the shooter shot him one round, one kill, and he shot him about here. Yeah, about here. I was hoping he would shoot him about here, because that's going to be much longer range. He's going to be a smaller target to hit, and there's going to be burning barrels around here that's going to obscure his view slightly. So I wanted to make it as difficult as what I could. Or not difficult, challenging, but it didn't work that way. And where I had set his waypoints, for target's waypoints, he had shot him about here instead. But still, never mind. That's going on for the next episode, which is going to be part 3. As always, guys, if you like what I'm doing, great. Like it on YouTube. If you got any comments, suggestions, any help, tips, let me know in the comments below. If I can help you out at all, let me know. I'll do my best just to help you out. If you could help me, in fact, if you've got a better way of doing things. I mean, things that I don't know how to do yet is name groups, make scripts that are for a whole group instead of naming individuals, the scripts and so forth. Little things like that would make my life a lot easier. So the idea of all this is that I can put over my ideas, and it could possibly get your brainwaves thinking. And also, if you see me doing something else backwards, you might have a better way of doing it, and you'll be able to help me out as well. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you've learned something. If you have, then I've done a good job. This video is only a quickie, and I hope you're going to look forward to part 3. Okay. See you again, folks. Bye bye.